Welcome to Renaissance Unity. Today is September 17th. We're winding up the celebration of Rosh Hashanah. And this week we have the first day of fall coming up. That's pretty exciting. My name is Jeannie Webster. I'm your song leader today. We have Joshua Inacio. He's our guest speaker and friend of many. And we have Donna Nowak on the piano, and Roy King on drums, Ed Lemmers on bass. So make sure your cell phones are turned off, please. We're going to have a meditation later. Don't want to distract from that. And so we will stand and join together in our opening song, which is apropos for this community. If you're able to, come and stand up and join us. Let us build a house where love can dwell and all can safely live. A place where saints and children tell how hearts learn to forgive. Built of hopes and dreams and visions, rock of faith and vault of grace. Here the love of God shall bend divisions. All are welcome, all are welcome, all are welcome in this place. Let us build a house where prophets speak and words are strong and true, where all God's children dare to seek to dream God's reign anew. Here the heart shall stand as witness and a symbol of God's grace. Here as one we claim the truth of spirit. All are welcome, all are welcome, all are welcome in this place. Let us build a house where love is found in water, wine, and bread. A banquet hall on holy ground where peace and justice meet. Here the love of God through Spirit is revealed in time and space as we share in love the feast that frees us. All are welcome, all are welcome, all are welcome in this place.
Good morning. Good morning to you. We're going to open with a prayer right now. And let's just call our attentions to our chest, to our heart there. Prayer shouldn't be difficult. It isn't difficult. We're just going to take a moment and breathe before we even go to words. There you are. There you are. All are welcome in this place. All parts of you are welcome in this place. For the hour, 2 hours that we're together this morning, you're welcome here, all parts of you. The parts of you that you maybe hide, don't wish to share with others, they are welcome here too. And so as we take a breath, we're breathing for all parts of ourselves, which are welcome, worthy, deserved, loved, sweet, you. Let us send a vibration of intention to the week ahead of us, to those that will be around, all that we'll do, and let's smile. Can we have a smile? Close enough. Okay, eyes open, everyone.
Good morning, Renaissance Unity. I'm Verena Long, your platform person today, and I welcome you. Thank you for being here in person, and thank you to all of you online who are joining us today. We want each one here this morning to know that unity is a positive, practical, progressive approach to spirituality. Our teachings are based on the teachings of Jesus and the power of prayer. But it is also true that here at Unity, we honor the universal truths in all religions, explore these universal truths, and we respect each individual's right to choose their own spiritual path. You are welcome here, whatever spiritual path you are on. Let's affirm together our first principle. It is a universal truth of reality. So together, there is only one presence and one power in our lives and in the universe, God the good, omnipotence. Now let's sing our first principle.
There is only one presence and one power in our lives and in the universe. God the good, God the good, God the good omnipotence.
And again, together, we are a dynamic fellowship centered in the active spiritual practice of love, truth, and gratitude, and service to others. Is there anyone here for the first time today? Hello, welcome. A welcome packet is on its way to you. If you would like to fill that out and leave it in the basket in the social hall, we'd appreciate it. Thank you for joining us today and being here with us. We invite you to fill that out whenever you'd like. If you're online and you'd like to receive our weekly newsletter, please enter your email address into the comments section. If you're joining by Facebook, and the chat section if you're joining by YouTube. And you'll be added to our mailing list. And now join me as we affirm together our mission statement. Our mission: transforming lives through a consciousness of love. And now listen and be with the words of our vision statement. Our vision is an inclusive world where minds, hearts, and hands are connected in raising the global consciousness of love. And I now invite myself up to be the prayer chaplain. Oh, hello. Good morning, everyone. Let us move our attention to the prayer box. By the Christ candle, we affirm that every request will find its answer in perfect order. These prayers are sent to Unity Prayer Ministry each month, where they are then prayed over for 30 days. And we know that all is well, and we are grateful. And our daily word today, joy. God's joy blesses each day of my life. The aroma of my favorite foods from childhood brings a happy memory to mind. Hearing the voice of a dear one warms my heart. Looking upon a newborn's face for the first time evokes a feeling words cannot describe. While the giddy excitement of a child's joy may now be the memory, the joy I know today still delights me. Each day I embrace more completely the joy of knowing I am a living expression of God. God's life lives as me. God's wisdom is with me, my guide to a deepening understanding of myself and the world around me. The love I share with people who are dear to me in God's love, living in each heart and expressing through each one of us. What greater joy could there be? From Scripture, rejoice always. 1 Thessalonians 5:16. Thank you.
I'd like to introduce our guest, Joshua Inacio.
Good morning, everyone. This is not me. I need to explain what I want to do right now. Rather like Father Christmas, I come here once a year, and I've been coming for about 10 years. And I've gotten to know some of you pretty well, some of you very well, and some of you would like to know better, right? Johnny, I didn't know super well. If any of you are wondering what I'm talking about right now, then sadly we lost Johnny a couple of months ago. And bear in mind, I come here infrequently. I don't have much time with any of you. I get to have conversations over the years. I got to meet Johnny a few times. Didn't get to ever have an in-depth conversation with him. And I'm going to get to the relevance in this in a minute. The second time I came, again, about 10 years ago, I decided to do something, and I have my looping station here. I decided to do something a bit more upbeat and actually involves beatboxing. I'll get there in a minute. So later that year, some of you, Reverend Dana took some of you to Unity Village, and I live near there, so I came and hung out with you guys for an evening, and it was lovely. So anyway, Johnny walks up to me, runs up to me, and starts rapping. And I'm like, what's happening right now, you know? The following year I was here and I did something different. He comes up to me at the end and he starts rapping Eminem. And I don't know if any of you have had someone you hardly know at all start rapping Eminem without introducing themselves or anything. And then he finishes and he goes, "See, I can rap Eminem too." And I'm like, I don't remember starting a competition here. It's just fine. And then I realized what he was talking about. Now, again, I didn't really ever talk to Johnny that much. I think he probably thought I was a complete weirdo. Shows how much of a good judge of character he was. But I got to hear more about him through Reverend Dana, who is the most intelligent person I know. And he would hang out with Johnny. And I'd hear about Johnny from time to time. They'd go to samurai events, and Johnny would know exactly what was going to happen. And I knew Johnny through Facebook as well. And so coming here and hearing of his passing, I was sad about that. And I thought, well, why don't I do something a little special for you all in honoring of him, make us all smile a bit, or at least hope so. This could go horribly wrong, by the way. But I want to honor him because I want to honor you. For me, he was what's the word? Quintessential. There we go. Quintessential member of this community. And much as I think as some of you are as well. And I have many flavorful thoughts about what happens when we leave our bodies, which I won't get into right now, but I'm sure he's with us and with this community and welcome and loved and belonging as we are here. So, as to what I'm going to do now, I'm going to do a chant for you, and it's a Sanskrit chant. I'll tell you what it is. Bit of a mouthful. Om Gan Ganapataya Namaha. Right? You'll get the idea. What it is about is a call to remove obstacles from our lives. Would any of you like that? That's a correct answer. Okay. So let me get started with this. You'll get the idea. Can I have? Oh, by the way, Ed made this bass himself. You can clap now. I have never made a stand-up bass myself before. With that beautiful instrument, can I have a B, please? A little higher, please. Yeah, that'll do. Thank you. Thank you. All right. That's all right. All right. Enough with the B's. All right. Give me a minute here. So I'm just going to start. It's Om Gan Ganapataya Namaha. Feel free to be as loud as you like. Okay. Can I have that B once again, please? I'm sorry. Thank you. Om Gan Ganapataya Namaha. Om Gan Ganapataya Namaha. I'm going to start again. Sorry. Can I have no clapping for a minute? No clapping for a minute. Sorry. All right. And again. See? I'm nervous. I'm nervous because I care, by the way. Om Gan Ganapataya Namaha. 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 Feel free to join in, by the way. Pataya Namaha. Om Gan Ganapataya 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 Namaha. Everyone up, let's stand up, let's stand up. Let's get some juices flowing. Come on. There we go. It's not hard. Gan Ganapataya Namaha. Om Gan Ganapataya Namaha. Om Gan Ganapataya Namaha. Om Gan Ganapataya Namaha. Clap along if you feel like a room without a roof. Clap along if you feel like happiness is a truth. Sing with me now. Om Gan Ganapataya Namaha. 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 Hands to your chest now. Hands to your chest. Bring that energy in. Bring that energy in. Bring that energy in. Let's sit down. Let's sit down. Let's sit down. Please no one clap. We're just going to breathe that into ourselves. Some love and respect for a dear community member the other side of the veil. Beautiful. Beautiful. Thank you for joining in with that. And no one needs to run up to me and rap Eminem. Just throwing that out there. More of a Rakim fan myself. Just, it's fine. It's fine.
So, Joshua, thank you for
Oh,
that very
pleasure.
much. There's no doubt in our mind that Johnny would have loved this, right? He loved learning and growing. He loved the book studies. He loved the Sunday message, the meditations, anything that was kind of alternative, holistic, and he liked listening to music and playing it himself. So he would love this. And the reason why I'm talking with you today is because, well, the tribute is very timely because Johnny's birthday was the 12th, which was this week. And we had been under the impression that the family was going to be doing a memorial for him on the 10th. So I want to give you an update, which is we have not heard from them about what is being planned. But we have decided that if we don't hear within 2 or 3 weeks, we are going to coordinate a memorial service ourselves so that we can honor and celebrate him the way that he deserves to be celebrated. Thank you. And we'll let you know by mid-October.
Okay. Okay, so time to do my job then. I am your Sunday speaker. I know that. And I want to speak to you on the subject of seek ye first the kingdom of heaven, which you must all be well familiar with. You must have heard that many, many times. Ministry is a funny thing to do. It's basically telling people about what they already know, about something they already are, and something they already have. It's a bit like teaching breathing, if you think about it, which people do, okay? So where am I coming from with this and telling you about something that you know and you've heard, hopefully, I imagine, tens of thousands of times, a lot of times. Where it's coming from is, I've noticed maybe, I don't know if there are more natural disasters in the world than there used to be, or whether it's we just know about more of them with social media and so on. I really don't know which it is. But it seems to be a lot. And then these things happen. Okay, and we're called to support in any which way we can. And my mind goes to something that happened in Houston a number of years ago, also a community I visit, and prayers were someone, not going to say who, someone sent prayers, and the response was, prayers are not needed, shelter and money is needed, right? And this idea that prayer is a limpid or weak activity or not enough, okay? This is where it's this, which is not my sole belief at all. But even in those words, seek ye first the kingdom of heaven, you're familiar with it. But I feel those words are so powerful and so underexplored. I was just passing by the labyrinth. Thank you for leaving that out, by the way, Verena. And it says the words, all things are possible through God in me, or through Christ in me. Again, words I believe in, which are devastatingly underexplored and understood, if I'm using the words correctly. I find that the world has become an increasingly reactive place. People are very ready to get angry and overstimulated, shall we say. And so the concept of seeking first the kingdom of heaven felt pertinent to me for coming to all this morning. The actual quote, Matthew's 6:33, it's actually, but seek first the kingdom of heaven and his righteousness, and all these things will be given to you. And so whenever I'm trying to understand something in the Bible, I always have to look about what came before that, what's earlier on in the passage, so I can understand it. So I started at 6:31, not in the morning, 6:31 Matthews. And it's something to the effect of, be not concerned about what shall I eat, or what shall I drink, or wherewithal shall I be clothed. I thought it sounds a lot like my kids in the morning. What's for breakfast? Same thing as yesterday. Where are my shoes? You're wearing them. These little concerns. And I thought more about it. And well, what's being said with those words is two things. One is an offer to be less consumed with materiality and more of what is within in the spirit. And you all know that a billion times. But also on the concept of worrying about the future, which I think we all do. So it's not about what I'm going to eat. It's more about, will there be food on the table next week? We're living in times of inflation and all these things. There is an abundance of things to worry about if we look for them, okay? And then there's 632. 632, for these are the ways of the Gentiles, for the Lord God knows all of your needs. If there is a word in the Bible that is translated and doesn't work for modern times, it's probably the word Gentiles. Now, I'm Jewish, okay? And I'm thinking about what must it be like to not be Jewish? Well, it would be me, but not racked with guilt all the time. Am I right? So actually being a Gentile looks a great idea. So relaxing. But anyway, I think it's the wrong, I probably offended all of you. Anyway, I think about what is a more appropriate interpretation of that word. And I think it is the state of being, the state of mind that we get in when we are, how do I put this? When we're in worry, when we're distracted, when we are devoid of purpose, when we're in a mindless state, okay? Now we're not talking about a person. We're talking about a mood that we all get in, that will probably be in 10 or 20 times today. It's a state of being that we're in often. So instead of it talking about a person, we're talking about a state of being we're in often. And when you're in that state of mind, you're in worry. And it's saying, don't be in that. God knows what you need. Seek first the kingdom of heaven. Get ahead of it, right? This is where I'm going with this today. And so we start with this word, seek, seeking. And again, thank you for leaving the labyrinth out. As you can see, I'm a fan of the labyrinth. Big fan of the labyrinth. Labyrinth teaches us many, many things, one of which is you will not get lost. You will always get to where you're supposed to be. If you keep walking, if you keep going, you will get there. You will get to the center. You can't. It's not a maze. You won't get lost. You can't get lost. Now, lots of things can happen along the path. I've walked many labyrinths. I've tripped over in labyrinths. I've gotten bored in labyrinths, okay? All of these things could happen in that one right there. This is what happens when we're seeking. Seeking doesn't mean we have found. Seeking is a process. It's a present tense. It's something that hasn't finished yet. It's a direction and it's an intention. And I'm saying that because spirituality and religion is full of gaslighting concepts like just think it and it will happen. And you've probably noticed that's not how things go. You think something and then you continue to put effort in, you wait, and at some point it happens. Yes, absolutely, absolutely. But there's a distinction between the two of them. The crux, I think, of seek ye first the kingdom of heaven is not just in the word seeking, but in seeking first. And then so I think about, well, what happens if we don't? If we're given advice, it's because we're being invited to do something other than we would normally do. So what if we don't take this advice? Think, oh yeah, Bible, nice, super duper, not going to do anything with that. We don't seek first the kingdom of heaven, we will find other kingdoms. Kingdoms of grumpiness, kingdoms of gossip, kingdoms of irritation, right? Kingdoms of bad choices and the consequences that come with them. We will be influenced by things we don't want to be influenced by. Does anyone know who first said, if you stand for nothing, you will fall for anything? Does anyone know who first said that? 10 points to anyone that does. I don't know, but does anyone know? Okay, because I know it from Hamilton, sorry. And then Rosa Parks, but I don't think it originated with either of them. The point being, if I take this in a more metaphysical context, we've got our energy field and it is moving around doing all sorts of things that I'm going to bore some of you with in about 2 hours' time. But if there is a greater and larger field and presence around you, and I don't mean the presence of God, I mean the presence of some dude walking around, then that will influence and start to shape your field. And you don't necessarily want that to happen. And so if you have not decided what your field is doing, it's going to get decided for you. And that is happening alarmingly often. Alarmingly often. I'm preparing for this talk, and I think, well, the 7 deadly sins is a good metaphor. With rage and lust and gluttony and the big words. But that's not where it starts. It starts with insecurity. It starts with a lack of confidence. It starts with doubt. That's what we want to look out for. And that's what we want to get ahead of. And so then perhaps we consider, well, why weren't we seeking in the first place? What is it about us that makes us not do that? How many times have you come to church in your lives? You hear the same thing every Sunday, basically. No offense, David. He's not going to watch this, is he? Okay. We'll talk about that. Okay. Why? What is it about us? Well, we like what we know. We like the familiar, and we get very entrenched in it, to the point that we create and recreate challenges in our lives because we know about them. Now, we could call that trauma. I think that's a fair word to use. Don't need to go too far down that road. I'm just making the point right now. We also don't look out for these things because the realm in which we get sent off track is an intangible realm. You can't see it, but it's there. I would say it's 50% of our reality, but I say all sorts of things. You own what you like. To me, I'm very invested in that. And I invite you to be a little more as well. The movies that are coming out at the moment seem to lean towards that. I think about the James Bond movies. I'm not a big James Bond fan. Got there. Particularly, but the last few, they've all been about, I don't know what, biological warfare, but stuff you can't see. So there isn't like a real big bad, there isn't a big weapon, it's this stuff floating in the ethers. That's what's gone on in the last bunch of James Bond movies. Also, the voice that puts you off track is a very quiet one. Hard to detect, hard to tell, isn't it? But I think the biggest thing is, what is it about us humans that we need a big enough problem before we'll do something about it? What's wrong with us? I think about something as simple as you all know that if you brush your teeth and then you eat an apple, it doesn't taste good. You all know that. And you all know that because you've done it like 70 times. Because the first 69 times were not enough for you to get the message. Or you just really like apples. I don't know. But there's something about us. Oh, no, it wasn't a problem. It wasn't a problem. Now it's a problem. Now I'll do something about it. Now I'll do something about it. And so then, well, what helps us? What helps us seek and therefore find? Now, if you think I'm going to stand here and say, do this, do this, do this, I'm not going to do that. And I'm not going to do that because we are all such a unique tapestry, such a unique creation. And what works for you may not work for you, and what works for you may not work for you this afternoon. But it might work in the morning tomorrow. That's how unique we are. We're phenomenal and kind of paradoxical as well. And so I'm going to start with other things. I'm going to start with awareness. Awareness. You will have enough tools, enough spiritual tools, enough cognitive, developmental tools. You've got enough. You would never need to come to church again, basically. But what's missing in all of us, myself included, is the awareness and the inclination to pick the tool up in the first place. Tools ain't going to do nothing for you if you're not using them. And you have plenty. So many. And so, what do we want to be aware of? We want to be aware of when we get uncomfortable. People get uncomfortable these days and they do the hot potato dance. They throw it at someone else. What do you do when you get a hot potato thrown at you? You fling it back, don't you? Like, don't throw a hot potato at me, have it back. Don't throw it at me, have it back. And on it goes. Anyone been on Facebook before? So, then, what about just us? awareness of procrastination. Procrastination is a very interesting thing. Procrastination, if you could see it, is a large, amorphous amount of energy just wanting to get squeezed through you. Procrastination is actually a wonderful thing in disguise because it's something waiting to come through you. Now, I mentioned earlier on I was nervous. Similar sort of thing. There's an energy that's going to come through me for you all. That's the job of the speaker. That's the job. Or teacher or anything you do. An energy preparing to come through. But why we procrastinate is we don't cognitively know what to do with it, but we have our intuition so keenly aware of the fact that it's going to take more time than we have in the moment. That's why we procrastinate. And so that starts your day on the wrong foot. And all I'm saying is if you can learn to catch yourself a little quicker and a little sooner when you're procrastinating, your day will go significantly better. And then, and because I want to keep this simple, simply wanting to. Now that might sound basic. There was a great teacher, her name was Hilda Charlton, if any of you are familiar with her. Everything she said was wonderful. She'd call her students kids. She'd say, oh, come on, kids. Love it. But anyway, she would talk about the difference between wanting God and wanting to want God. And now that applies to every area of your life. Now you can want to get healthy or you can want to get healthy. I'm writing a book at the moment. Now for the longest time I was wanting to write a book. And then I actually started writing. That took a while. This is why I'm not lecturing anyone on procrastination today. It is simple. We are looking for the thing that makes you feel good. It's that simple. It's that simple. And maybe people have told you that it should be harder than that. It's not. It's really, really not. One of my kingdoms of heaven is a Mexican restaurant in Kansas City. I could happily die there. Anyway, another story. But we're looking to create and practice the pause. We are looking to interrupt our autopilot. Do you understand what I'm saying? Understands enough. Okay, I'll take it. And then so, to the simple part, well, what is the kingdom of heaven? Nice fancy words there. Kingdom, heaven. In the Bible, and his righteousness. Not just the kingdom of heaven, and his righteousness. I didn't look up what that word meant, though. But I'll say this much. Now, we all know the kingdom of heaven is not a place you can go to, but it is a state of being. It's a state of being. So if you add the words, letters O-M, onto any word, you get a state of being. I became a US citizen last year. And when you were preparing for that, you find this word freedom. Not kingdom, but freedom. And you start to wonder what that means. And you have all sorts of rights of freedom. But you can't just go and do whatever you want. That's not what the freedom is. The freedom is to be what you want. And not to interfere with others, ideally, when you do it. It's a state of being. It's a feeling. The party is going on inside you. The kingdom is within, as it were. The kingdom is you. Now, one of the great teachers of our times, he would say, instead of asking yourself, what do I think? He said, ask yourself, who is it in me that thinks? Instead of asking, who is it that speaks? What am I saying? Who is it that speaks? Instead of asking yourself, what am I hearing? Ask, who is it that hears? And then we're getting a little closer to who we really are, and therefore a little closer to the kingdom of heaven, which is who we really are. The kingdom of heaven is the present moment. How many times in the last 30 minutes have you either gone ahead to the future or somewhere in the past, or both? And that's fine. And that's fine. That's what we do. That's what we do. The practice is to reel that in. That's the practice. We shouldn't shame ourselves for being invested or healing. No, not at all. Not at all. So what happens if you do? What happens if you do seek first the kingdom of heaven? Well, another one of our greats, Marianne Williamson, now she would speak about meditation. right? Which I'm not. I meditate in my own ways, but I'm not going to throw that word around and say, you should meditate. No, 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 no. I think you should find your own. I think you should understand the instrument that you are and live according to that. But I'm not just going to say, go and meditate. But anyway, she likes to. And she says, if I meditate as the first thing I do in the day, it doesn't guarantee that I will be the best version of myself, but it does guarantee that I will not be the worst. And I like that. I like that. That's sort of where I'm going with this. Can I be better than the worst version of myself? I know that might sound like a low rung right there. But if you aim for what you really can reach, you can reach higher, and you can reach higher, and you can incrementally reach higher. We are in a world that evolves. You plant a seed, and you will get a flower or a fruit or something in a few weeks. You don't get it straight away. If you run for a bus or a plane or whatever and you're out of breath, you're not going to return to your body's homeostasis immediately. It takes 2, 3, 4, 5 minutes. I think we need to understand that. So, it's Sunday. It's Sunday morning still. I haven't gone on that long yet. But it's Sunday morning. So what does the rest of the day look like? I mean, most of you you're either going to go to Lowe's or IKEA, right? So how many people you're going to interact with at one of those places? 2, 3, 4 people, you pass them by, and then you go to IKEA, another 3, 4 people, or you go out to eat or something like that. 8 people. 8 people. That's what we got, give or take. You interact with those 8 people, well, you're going to affect their day. Even with a look, even with a smile, or whatever, you're going to affect their day, positively or negatively. Now, if they're out on Sunday, they're going to be seeing 8 people as well. So therefore, 8 times 8, you've reached 64 people. And if those 64 people see 8 people, we're up to like 4,000. Just from you going out this afternoon. And so there's a bunch of people in here. Suddenly that number's gone up a lot. A lot. Is this any more important to you all now? We're up to like 10,000 people. Before you go to bed. You're going to affect 10,000 people before you go to bed. No pressure. And yet, this is life. This is life. That's our ministry. You know, the thing that you already know, that you already do, that you already have, and you already are, that thing, your daily life, it's happening. It's all happening. Now, I'm going to bring this to conclusion now. I've talked quite long enough today. Seek ye first the kingdom of heaven, and all these things will be added to you. I do believe we have a divine blueprint within us. We're born into the world with this. And with that, we can create a divine interruption to all the loud voices that are around us, outside and inside. A pause, a minute, a second, 10 seconds. To allow for a course correction. Seek ye first the kingdom of heaven. When? When you wake up? Or just freaking any time? Now. When you get out of the bathroom? When you put your coffee down? Anytime. Anytime. Or before you are going to react. Before you are going to raise your voice. Anytime. Anytime. Matthew 6:34 says, fear not for tomorrow, because it will take care of itself. And it takes care of itself because you took care of it today. So I invite you to seek first the kingdom of heaven for yourself, but if I can't enroll you in that, then seek it for everyone else. I'm going to take us into meditation now. I'm not going to beatbox, I promise. I like to work with the prayer of St. Francis. The prayer of St. Francis, make me an instrument of your peace. It's about balance, or the Tao. And we're actually really never in balance. Really finding our way from that side or from that side. The point of balance vacillates all the time. Following from this, once I've finished, we're going to have 3 minutes of silence. Reverend Dana always asked me to do that. And I haven't said, of course, that silence is where we find the kingdom of heaven the easiest. Let's take a breath. Perhaps you'd like to close your eyes, as you wish. As you wish. Sing with me, please. Make me an Heavenly Father, Mother, make me an instrument to the sweet presence within us. Make me an instrument. The kingdom of heaven, make me an we call to that it reverberate through our physical body, our human life, through our eyes, through our thoughts, and that we may follow it, that we may think with it, hear with it, see with it, be with it, speak with it. We ask, beloved Heavenly Father, Heavenly Mother, to be used. Make me an instrument. Make me an instrument. Thy will be done. Make me an instrument of your peace. Without our effort and without our intervention, through us. Make me an instrument. We say, make me an instrument of your peace. Let's bring our attention to our chest again, please. Let the intelligence of your body breathe for you. And the flow of life and vitality, which is always there, magnifies. Your attention to your feet now, please. Your feet that walk the earth can take you to where you need to be. We're going to have 3 minutes of silence now. If your mind is wild and busy, let it be. Deep breath as we go into silence, please. Let's take a deep breath together. Invite you to open your eyes. It's time for your offertory blessing. I have in front of me the words, "Now it is time to give back." That's actually not how it works. Because you're not giving anything back. You are giving to. When we get the opportunity to give, it's just that. We are given the opportunity to give. We receive. And that's the blessing. I don't need to bless anything here, because you're going to do that. Something that passes gladly from you is your blessing. It's a beautiful, beautiful thing. What are you giving to? You're giving to a spiritual community. You're giving to a time, an opportunity for something so much bigger than you to happen. And you're given the opportunity to contribute to that. I don't see a need to bless anything. You're blessed, whatever, I don't know. But
I am blessed. I am blessed every day of the life. I am blessed when I wake up in the morning or lay my head to rest. I am blessed. I am blessed. I am blessed. I am blessed every day of my life. I am blessed, 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 blessed when I wake up in the morning or lay my head to rest. I am blessed. I am blessed.
I can adapt. Okay. Deep breath, everyone, please. I know I keep saying this. Attention to your chest, to your heart, please. And from there, your divine love expands, blesses, multiplies. All that you are, all that you give. Through this, through the form, through the form, through the form. Blesses those it touches, the reason it's given. We say thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you. Amen.
Thank you, Joshua. Great words. I heard you say the Tao, and in Zen, in the Tao, you're constantly introspecting in your mind. So there's a quote that came to my mind. Let us guard the mind with all diligence from thoughts that obscure the soul's mirror. For in that mirror, Jesus Christ, the wisdom and power of God, the Father, is luminously reflected and lets us unceasingly seek the kingdom of heaven inside our mind. That's Tom Chetwynd. So let us move on to announcements. And I will be your prayer chaplain today. If you have a need for prayer, please join me after service in the chapel. Private sessions with Joshua will be held tomorrow from 9 to 5. His time slots are now full. And I'd like to invite up Judy Charlick to make an announcement.
Yes, so I'm inviting and reminding women of Renaissance Unity that we are having another Unity this coming Saturday from 10 to 11:30. Excuse me. Oh, it hasn't gone away. All right. The word this time is synchronicity. When things happen that don't seem to be connected, but sort of do seem to be connected. So we're going to explore that with an activity and then small group sharing and discussing, and then a large coming together. So please, everyone, sign up, all you women, sign up out there so we know how many people are coming. And we'll see you this coming Saturday at 10 o'clock. Thanks.
Thank you, Judy. That sounds lovely. Also, Reverend David will present 3 classes on Emily Carty's Lessons in Truth on October 1st, 8th, and 12th at 1 p.m. These sessions will be a wonderful opportunity for those new to Unity to learn more about the basic teachings of Unity. It will also be a great time for those who have spent much time in Unity to revisit the teachings. Most of all, it's just another great opportunity to get together and get to know each other on a one-on-one basis. And David Kramer, I'd like to invite you up to make an announcement now.
Thank you and good morning. Thursday, October 5th from 7 p.m. to 9 p.m., we will have a Dr. Joe Dispenza meditation. This one is called Changing Boxes, and it's a new meditation that many of Dr. Joe's students have had some tremendous success with. I believe you can too, and I hope to see you there Thursday, October 5th at 7 to 9 p.m. Thank you.
Thank you, David. Those are always great. I was telling David the other day at the World Day of Prayer service how lovely the flowers are outside, and thank you to all those in our community who have been taking care of those. It's lovely. The first Friday, October 8th, will be a mini potluck, dinners at the homes of 4 to 5 volunteer hostess. If you provide anything that you'd like, a side dish or a dessert, just let the hostess know and they will provide plates, cups, silverware, and beverage. Right now we have 1 hostess in Pepper Pike and 1 in Chagrin Falls. We would like to have a West Sider and a Southern Cuyahoga County, Summit County person to join this activity. Sign-up sheets are in the social hall. Oh, there's 1 in Lyndhurst now. Yay. Sounds like fun. And TK Kinlow will be our guest speaker on 9/24. It's always lovely hearing from her. Wonderful. And I'd like to invite up Marjorie to make our final announcement.
Everybody say 80. 80. I can't hear you. 80. I can't hear you. 80. Okay.
Good morning. 80. 80. The first Sunday in October, I want to see 80 people. Do you have an uncle? Do you have a brother? Do you have a sister? You have a grandchild? You have children? 80 people. Say 80. 80. I can't hear you. 80. Thank you.
80, lady. Thank you. And let's invite up our wonderful children.
This little light of mine, I'm gonna let it shine. This little light of mine, I'm gonna let it shine. This little light of mine, I'm gonna let it shine. Let it shine, let it shine, let it shine.
Hi, everybody. Hi, everybody.
Hi.
Thank you. Our wonderful children today were participating in a session on how to heal. And when we were talking about how to heal, we talked about using bandages, doing things like that, but we also talked about healing through prayer. And what we did, folks, today is we called silent unity. We did it. And before we did, we decided on what prayer we should ask for help with. And I'm not going to ask them to say it. We're all going to say it together. What did we decide on? We're going to ask for world peace. And we did, and we got prayer support from Unity, from Silent Unity. A wonderful young man prayed with us for world peace. And then we drew pictures of things that we can do that we help ourselves heal, like little things like watering a plant or eating an apple instead of candy, and so on. And they're depicted on their artwork that they did today at church. What a wonderful Sunday this has been with the kids. And by the way, it was about 10 minutes talking to Silent Unity, and they were as quiet as a mouse. And when we asked about it, someone said, we were not only talking to that person, but we were talking to God, who was speaking through this man, through his heart. How about that?
Thank you so much. I know I talked to Hank before kids class today, and he was just so excited to make this phone call, so I'm so glad the kids really enjoyed that. And now it's time to conclude our service, so let us join together in singing the peace song, followed by the prayer of protection.
Let there be peace on earth, and let it begin with me. Let there be peace on earth, the peace that was meant to be. With God as creator, family all are we. Let us walk with each other in perfect harmony. Let peace begin with me. Let this be the moment now. With every step I take, let this be my joyful vow. To take each moment and live each moment peace eternally. Let there be peace on earth. Let it begin with me.
And now join me in affirming what we know to be the truth of unity, our prayer of protection. The light of God surrounds us. The love of God enfolds us. The power of God protects us. The presence of God watches over us. Wherever we are, God is, and all is well. Amen. Thank you. See you next week. Have a great day.